blessed ones of the nations of the world. One more time, this is your brother Dan Moses of Say Yaw Sakodi of TRC, Ghana. Coming your way with end time expose of testimony, new world, disorder, and what to do. I begin by saying to you, you are welcome. Akwaba, Allen, Sahale, Shagitam, welcome, Inganjoni, Vindu. You are welcome one more time. Kuso, Diwo to San Yusenyo Okukulaba, Maoya, Mingalaba, Poye, Malamu, Karebu, Ekapo, no, oh, Sano, Bezua, Enkwande Hena, Mitash, Duburo, Pezalovat, Bine Ivinit, Barigarus, Vita Ichi, Ayupon, Dubridoya, Welcome, Estan, Hozot, Walang, Adoman, Bienvenido, Namaste, Swagitam, Kush, Amadid, Baruk, Haba, Marhaba, Wanyong Hamida, Wanying, Yejeko, Anime, Yejeko, Wezolo, Novio, Miaweso, Dumelan, Ebere, Miaweso, Akwaba, to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. And Akwaba to what to do, blessed ones of the nations of the world. The program What to Do, we are now uncovering the agenda of coming after the souls of humanity and the nations of the world. The pursuit of the Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation by forces here in America. Humanity and the nations of the world. For years, we have been made to understand our focus has been shifted by many a preacher in various parts of the world when it comes to the great tribulation, when it comes to the end of the world, the events of the end of the world. Our focus have been shifted to Europe. That all that we are being made to think is to think of Europe as going to be the center of all the evil that have been unleashed on humanity when it comes to the Great Tribulation, Armageddon, and therefore the Europe is going to be revived into the new Roman Empire. The ancient Roman Empire is going to be revived, and the European Union is going to break down to 10 nations, and humanity and the nations of the world. There is no empire in our time, no nation in our time that perfectly describes what the Bible talks about when it comes to the revival of the ancient Roman Empire. No nation that fits that description than the nation America. That is the harsh reality which many preachers of the land of America around the globe know. However, the courage to tell the truth that it is America that is being used by global states in fulfilling, in pursuit of that agenda. That is what is happening. When the Bible talks, no nation in the world today fits the perfect description of Egypt in the Bible, the enslavement of the Hebrews. No nation fit the perfect description of Babylon and the taking of the Hebrews hostage than the nation America. If we look scripturally and in the world, what America as a state is being used to do to the nations of them, to do to our world, it fits the perfect description of what the Bible talks about. The American people themselves are totally helpless at the hands of their own government and at the hands of the global evil forces operating within their nation for the pursuit of this diabolical agenda against their state and against humanity. That is the kind of helpless situation the American people are in. It is not only humanity that is in such a terrible situation. Look not to Europe. I challenge you to check your scripture well and look at what is happening to the world, what is being done to the nations of the world, and you realize that something is happening to our humanity right from America. Dignified ones of the nations of the world. What to do is what matters. If America shall be redeemed from the use of their nation in pursuit of the great tribulation, the Armageddon, the destruction of the human race, there is what America should do. If America shall be redeemed from the hijacking of their nation by global wicked forces which are using their nation to pursue a global evil agenda against the human race, there is what the people must stand up and do to the redemption of their nation. What they must stand up, that's what they must do in standing up with the human race to stop this global evil which has been brought at the doors of humanity. You didn't hear me. I said, if your nation, if my nation, Ghana, if the nations of the world shall come out of this global evil pursuit against humanity, and we shall have our souls preserved from destruction by these global wicked forces operating from America, supported by their counterparts on various nations of the world, there is what to do. If the democracy of the nations of the world that are being willfully torn down by these global forces under their agenda, if democracy could be restored in your nation, in the stead of treacherous imposition of the rulers wished by these forces on the nations of the under the cover of the ballot, if we shall come out of such willful destruction of democracy of the nations, of the destruction of the democracy of America, Ghana, and of the nations of, there is what we must do. If the legislature, the executive and judiciary of Ghana shall come back alive and stand up for freedom and justice, the redemption of the nation, if the church, if the community in which you belong to, the academic institution where you are studying, in your nation, in my nation, Ghana, the family in which you belong to, if you shall arise to be what that institution ought to be, there is what must be done. What must be done is that we understand that in the midst of all the hijacking of the church, the hijacking of the mosque, the hijacking of the synagogue, in the midst of the tearing down of the justice system of your nation, the executive, the judiciary, government, as though there is no government in your nation or in my nation. The destruction of the academic institution where you belong to. What we must do is to understand that there is somebody in your nation, somebody in my nation, somebody in the government, somebody at the judiciary, executive, legislature, somebody in the family, somebody in the church, somebody in that mosque, in that synagogue somewhere. Somebody in your nation that God has purposely put in your hands, in my hands, the key to redeeming that executive branch of the government, that judiciary, the legislature, the justice system. There is somebody there. There is somebody there in the family that God has preserved for the redemption of the family, for the redemption of the community in which we live, where people are barbarously killed in secrecy and in the open, as though there is somebody there that God has preserved and has given more than too much to for the redemption of your nation, my nation, that academic institution, the church, for the redemption of the church which has been hijacked, for the redemption of humanity that has been hijacked, the mosque, the synagogue that has all been hijacked. There is somebody out there, right within, which God is counting on. And that somebody, it is not because you are so special than every other person at the judiciary, at the executive, at the legislature, in that nation, not because you are so special than anybody in the family, in that church. You can be an usher. You can be the security guard. You can be a cleaner in the church, whom God has given the key to the redemption of the church that has been hijacked to. It is not because you are too special, but it is because God has found you as the exact person that need to stand up in the face of that willful destruction of the democracy of your nation, of the destruction of the justice system, the destruction of the court system, the destruction of the law, the destruction of the health sector, where the health sector is being used barbarously to kill people in secrecy against everything that is called law, against the ethics of. There is somebody out there. And not because you are so special, but because God has found you to be the key and the answer, and you must stand up. Let's go to the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel. I'm reading from chapter 2, from the 25th verse. We are reading about a vision, a dream that King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon had. God found a man called Daniel and uncovered what the king has seen, which had to do with what will happen in our time and is happening now. Don't look at the Babylon that we are talking about here as Iran. Don't look at the Nebuchadnezzar that we are talking about here as a man that lived of old. That Babylon is here now. Look at America. Look at your own nation. That Nebuchadnezzar that we are talking about here, look right within America. It is here. Look right within your nation. Don't think that we are talking about history. It is happening now, today. It was a dangerous situation which was to wipe out fellow human beings from the first surface of the earth. Just like I'm facing in the land of America, just like my people of Ghana are facing, that we have been tactically wiped out by fellow human beings in America against everything that is called law. No one in Ghana has a right to turn up to this, but there is somebody out there. And the nation Ghana shall not be wrecked. Ghanaians shall not be wiped out of the surface of the earth, because they have been preserved by God. For the sake of humanity. Daniel chapter 2 verse 25. I read downwards. Then Arioch brought in Daniel. This is when the commandment has gone that if the astrologers, magicians, the inner circle members, the wise men of Babylon, if they cannot interpret the dream, tell the dream and interpret it, they should all be killed. This is when God came in. Then Arioch brought in Daniel before the king in haste and said thus unto him, I have found a man of the captivity of Judah that will make known unto the king the interpretation. The king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen and the interpretation thereof? Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, this secret which the king had demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king. Announcement. Today I was at the White House to give President John Donald Trump, my one-time friend, my final farewell message to him for what he had used his 4 years for. I was there at the White House this 21st of October 2020. This expose is not for today. You shall receive it at the appointed time. I read. But there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets and maketh known to the king, Nebuchadnezzar, to the king, Trump, to the king, and Akufo, what shall be in the latter days. What shall be in the latter days? What shall be in our days? What shall be before our eyes? Now, I read on. Thy dreams and the vision of thy head upon thy bed are these. As for thee, O king, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed, what should come to pass hereafter. And he that revealeth secrets, maketh known to thee what shall come to pass. But as for me, Daniel, the secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I I have more than any living. Understand, somebody at the Congress, somebody at the Senate, somebody at the White House, somebody at the Supreme Court of Ghana, somebody at the High Court, somebody at the district, somebody at the Magistrate Court of Ghana. Understand what we are talking about here. That not because you are too special, not because you are too wise, not because you are specially selected. I read on. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sakes, that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. That is the end of the reading. Thanks be to God. Humanity and the nations of the world. This is Daniel's declaration concerning himself in regarding the future event that has been revealed in a dream to the king, and which was bothering the king, which was troubling him, which was tearing down his soul, which he could not understand. But the key, the understanding into the future, was given to Daniel, a captive in the land of his slavery, in the land of his bondage, in the land of his servitude. This is what Daniel said before the king. King, you want to kill all the wise men. You want to kill my people and kill your own people. And you have given them the command that if you are not able to interpret your dream, they should be killed. My people should be killed. And in fact, Ghana, you are getting killed. But oh, thanks be to God that it is an orphan of Ghana, an innocent Ghanaian who has been hated more than any human being has been hated by America and in America. It is a Ghanaian whose body is now being decapitated before the eyes of the world by America and in America. It is a Ghanaian betrayed by some of his own people to be murdered for being a Ghanaian, that crimes against humanity be covered. Whom God have graced, have shown mercy, has loved, and has given us the insight that we need to know that it must come through in regarding what is happening to Ghana, America, and the nations of the world. Humanity and the nations of the world. It is just by grace that God has found me fit, just like He found John on the island of Patmos, to bring to the world what the world needs to know regarding what is happening now. Just like God found Daniel, a captive of the tribe of Judah, to uncover to the king and to the world what must be. Humanity and the nations of the world. Acquire to the program Testimony, the World Disorder. Ghana, let me shock us to the degree which Nana Addo Akufo and his administration are going to cover up heinous crimes against our nation with the US government. way before Nana Addo Akufo became president. Together with these global cliques of evil forces, they have removed Ghanaians from the land of Ghana to various parts of the world. Some in America, some in Canada, some in UK, some in various parts of the world. These individuals, some being ladies especially, their mission in regarding what is happening to humanity and the nations of the world, they must willfully lie to the US government, make up willful lie. They have received their money, some have received their money, some have received their cars. They were removed from the land of Ghana. Let me mention one for the sake of the United Kingdom. Beatrice Addo of the United Kingdom. Some are in Canada, some are in America, many, too many are in America. Ladies, all they have to do is to willfully lie to the US government for my distraction in the interest of the US undercover agent. And they have fully been paid for it. There is no way that anybody could ever have known what evil that those ladies years back were used to do so far as what is happening to humanity and the nations of the world is concerned. There's no way anybody was going to know. But God is not dead. No matter how many years that are gone by, that Nana Addo Akufo and his stakes in America use those individuals. They are the people who have continued to make the nation Ghana fall casualty to bizarre killings up to this very day. Ghana and the nations of the world, according to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. What is happening now is that Nana Addo Akufo and his administration, the US government, they are going to the extent of even buying women whose family have fallen victim. People whose family are falling victim to the secret killing that is going on in Ghana. Ruth of Confanote Teaching Hospital. Your precious family is in Ghana. You were a direct victim. Your family is a direct victim to the willful killing that has been going on against the Ghanaian people. Open your eyes. Your family must sit up. Nana Addo Akufo and his administration is seeking your destruction. God is not going to allow him to exploit you to seek me to be destroyed. That what God has intended that humanity knows through me shall be stopped. For the counsel of God can never be thwarted. Ruth, global wicked forces are coming after you and your family, that they may seek my destruction. It will not stand. It will not prosper. Humanity and the nations of the world. Let's end here. God bless you. And God bless my